The old man has spent his life playing with snakes. He wanders all the time in the forests and climbs the mountains to look for big snakes, catches them, puts them in his box, and then sells them. His greatest joy is when he fights wild cobras. Since his childhood, he has been fond of running after those snakes. His mother told him once, "Hey you, if people catch snakes, you have to catch the biggest one. Never catch scorpions. Better be killed by a snake than by a scorpion." His mother used to encourage him not to be afraid of death. She would tell him that death has the same taste, a bitter one. Death is the same no matter how one dies. So she told him that, "I will be proud of you if you are killed by a big and huge snake." She would say, "People will be talking about you all the time. Your name will stay engraved in the memory of generations after generations." In that village, people don't talk about writers, poets, or soldiers. People talk only about snake fighters. The mother wants her son's name to be on the tongue of the small and the big. The more she pushes him to death, the further death gets from him. In winter, the old man stays in the village, surrounded by the little kids who enjoy listening to his stories. He tells them about his adventures with all kinds of snakes. He names them all. He knows of the snakes, names as he knows the names of his own children. He has special stories about every kind of snake. One snowy day, while he was talking about his past trips with the kids, a little boy asked him, "Please, Baba, I want to take your flute and box of snakes and start catching them. What advice can you give me?" The old man pondered for a while, looked at the kid and said, "Listen to me carefully. You have to know that little and weak fake snakes come to look for you, while real snakes wait for you to come and look for them. You have to be aware of these facts. When a cobra is asleep or hiding in its hole, you have to sing your best songs for it if you want to make her come out to dance for you. Real cobras don't dance for any music. You have to know their favorite rhythms. Each one has its favorites, and this is your duty to know what music and which rhythms for each snake. They are like us. No, this is not true." He looked at the children's eyes, then he went on to explain. "Snakes are like humans. No, we humans are like snakes. Each one of us has a favorite song that makes his or her body and heart dance. Therefore, if cobras don't hear their favorite music, they never come out of their holes, and in case they come out of their holes, the real snake fighter catches them from the neck, not from the tail." He stopped for a moment, looked at the kids, and then went on to say that you have to catch them from the head. That way, you avoid getting beaten. You mustn't fear death. Our history is the history of those who died by snakes, not about those who kill snakes. Our history talks about those who sacrificed their lives so that others could live and enjoy watching snakes in markets and touristic squares. If we do not fight snakes, they will make us leave this village. They will kill us and attack us at home. That's why we keep killing them. A snake can either kill you or you kill him. Look, The old man opened his box and freed a big black cobra. When the children saw it, they ran in all directions. The huge snake frightened them. They had never seen such a wild creature. Some of them left their shoes behind. The old man laughed and said to himself sarcastically, "For whom are you telling all your stories?" Old man: "This generation runs away when they see snakes, while our parents, God bless their souls, taught us to run after snakes, not to run away from them. When we were the kids, the snakes ran away from us. This generation is unreliable. Is this the generation that will protect the village from the attacks of snakes? I don't think so. I'm afraid about the future of the village and its people. Maybe in the future, the snake fighters will dance for the snakes. May you bless this village, dear Lord." That night, all the mothers came to the old man. They asked him to go out to look for their butterflies who hadn't come back. They said that his cobra had frightened them, and that was the reason why they left the village. Years passed, and the youth never came back. Some snake fighters who visited the city told the mothers that they had seen their kids in the city watching the snakes in the Jama al-Fna, surrounded by tourists in Marrakesh. They told the mothers how hard it was to differentiate between their children and the tourists. They even mentioned that the children no longer speak their native languages. They dress like tourists, speak like tourists, and live like tourists. An old lady cried and said, "You see, mothers, I have always warned you not to give birth to tourists. We need citizens of the village, not tourists." The mother cry all the time. They cry rivers of tears over their lost generation. They live for that one hope, to see their children come back to the village. They talk about the death of cobras and snakes. But the children can never forget their grandmothers, old saying. When one is beaten by snakes, he starts fearing ropes. Every day, mothers wait on the main road that goes to the city with every sunset waiting for the return of their children. When dusk falls, they go to the old man's house and ask him, "Why did you free the cobra from its box? Why did you frighten our children?" These questions still hurt both the mothers and the old man. Their hearts bleed while waiting for the return of the unreturned. Some say they will never return, but mothers believe that their children were born in the village and they will come back to their village. They say that no matter what happens, the sons of the village will one day return to the village. When snake fighters come to the village, all mothers beg them not to show the snakes to the little children. They beg them, "Our children are our butterflies. They have dreams. Please do not frighten the children. Please don't chase our butterflies." A snake fighter replied, "This is the generation of butterflies. They need a special education. We cannot treat butterflies as we used to treat cobras, scorpions, and snakes. Unlike snakes, butterflies are created to live in gardens and farms instead of being put inside dark boxes."